Hey, we're heading down to South Florida, right around Orlando, to a pretty familiar place to the Avian X cameras. We're hunting with Mr. Jim Conley. We were down there about 3 springs ago, and I've known Jim since I first got in this business. When it comes to Osceola turkeys, Jim Conley's not only got them, he knows more about them than anybody alive.
Well, I started guiding Osceola hunts in 1979. I live in Orlando, and our hunts are somewhat southwest of Orlando. See, everybody wants to get a grand slam. They wouldn't come to Florida just to turkey hunt. I think we have one of the toughest turkeys to hunt. Merriam's and the Rio Grande and somewhat of the eastern have more territory to hunt, where Florida, just the south part of the state, is Osceola's.
I'm going on 80 years old. Besides being an outdoor rider, got into turkey hunting in 1971, and I've been doing it ever since. Coming out here and hunting in Florida in an entirely different environment than I deal with in California. So it's all kind of special. It's the first Osceola that I've hunted. You know, it's kind of a feather in your hat to say that you've killed all of the subspecies in the United States. This will obviously be an experience for an article, maybe more than one article, and it adds to what I know about turkey hunting across the country. So when I write about something, even though I'm sitting in California, I can refer to this, I can think about it, and think about how the turkeys reacted and how I want to portray it.
I wonder if Jim will get mad if I go break the bed.
15 years ago, I guess, that they decided that they'd call it a Florida turkey because they couldn't determine whether it was true Osceola or not. The Osceola is from Jacksonville to the Swanee River. South of that line, it's what the Wild Turkey Federation is considered an Osceola. And a lot of people are hunting turkeys thinking they're Osceolas, but birds I'm hunting are true Osceolas.
Finally, John Higley's got enough rest. Feeling pretty good about his day today. He's up there shaking his head like he's not tired. He was making fun of our cheap coffee because he's a coffee snob.
Do I have to take a shotgun today?
They're roosted right. They're roosted right there.
Okay.
The gap where?
Right on this tree row here.
Oh, before you make a right.
Yeah,
okay.
Go back in.
Where's John at? He can't see John. I'm kind of keeping it low because we had an incredible morning, just lots of turkeys. The big boys just didn't show up, but we're hunting with my good buddy, Mr. Jim Conley, and coming down here for 20 years now. In my opinion, the best place to kill an Osceola. Got Jim in camp and Pat Strasser, Scott Bayshore, John Higley from California. You a Grateful Dead fan?
No.
Trying to kill his first Osceola, but opening morning was awesome, just no long beers. What I tried the new half strut Jake, have him sitting over that breeder hen, and then or the lay down breeder, excuse me, and then I have a breeder hen out in front, just trying to give that scenario of everything. And these Osceolas are aggressive, and I thought for sure we'd get a big boy come up and play the game, but you know, it's not over yet. We still have the rest of the day. I'm gonna stick with the same strategy. These aggressive Osceolas, I mean, they'll eat that up. And that lay down, she's telling the story, and that breeder's just, to me, it looks like one of these Osceolas standing out here in this cow pasture. So that was our decoy as a choice. Here, we're gonna get back after him. It won't be long.
I thought there for a while we just weren't going to get John anything.
You know, Scott and Jim were talking, and They said, why don't we try another spot?
Well, it's a little piece of property that I have south of here that takes about an hour drive to get there. Not easy to get in there.
Familiar place and not too far out of Orlando proper, I mean out of the city. And I was all in because it's one of the prettiest places with lots of turkeys, so we headed that way.
The birds usually don't get off the roads very much when they travel from one area to the next because it's so thick. They don't come out really in the heat of the afternoon that much because they're black and they're walking on white sand and one thing or another.
So we were just gonna blind call, just pick a spot, let those turkeys hear us and see what happens.
So when we got out and found lots of sign on the road in one spot, Jim said they got to be here. They got to come by sometime this afternoon.
All right, here we go. The half strut. The breeder on our boat, that strut marks everywhere, so a nice little hide because he can't sit still. So go back in here in the shadows and the shade and let it rip. See what happens. Mr. Higley's second day, and we have gotten our butts kicked pretty bad. Jake City. He's been making fun of me, giving me a hard time. Jim Conley, my buddy here in Florida, I've been hunting with forever. He said, come on in here, let's get to these crossroads. So we brushed it in. We're real early. Turkeys it's hot. They're just staying in them trees in the creek or whatever. We're just gonna sit it out the rest of the evening. Our box call out and whack on it a little bit and see what happens.
All right.
Go ahead.
Got the long bears. They're coming fast. Coming in hot. Wow.
Shoot, John.
Whichever one he tells me. How about the one on the right?
There you go.
How about the one on the right? He's clear.
Yeah, wait.
I know I want the one that's standing still.
Okay.
With its head up.
Just let them all get clear.
Checking out. There's another old guy over there who's waving us good luck. Wait, you want to see me smiling? It's hard not to, I'll tell you that.
Let's go see your turkey. Pretty nice bird. That's a stud Osceola.
So, it's a sandy situation. It's almost like hunting on the beach.
Tell you, the pressure's off of me now, and I was really worried. The guy come all the way from California to kill an Osceola. Here, let me show you the difference.
Okay.
Osceola. The wing primaries are very dark. They're still white, but they are broken and don't reach the quill. If you notice, most of these don't reach the quill. See this?
Yes.
The line?
Yeah.
The fan is smaller.
See what kind of tail he's got.
Well, they're small compared to an
That's
eastern.
pretty nice, huh?
They're really long-legged and their torsus is a little longer than the others, but their weight is not as heavy.
This tail section is darker all the way around.
Yeah.
And you can see the bronze right in there. And in the sunlight, it's just unreal.
Yeah, I won the bet, sorry.
Well, you did?
Inch and a quarter.
I can't see anything with my glasses on. Well, we had 9 3/4 a minute ago. If you straighten out the longest hair, it's 9 3/4. Very respectable beard. Probably a 3-year-old.
Better than a 3-year-old.
Well, he could be a 4, but at least he's a 3.
I can tell you what he ain't. Getting any older. And you, my friend, shot the first turkey for Avian X TV with a new Browning ammunition.
Wow.
And
it works.
yeah, look at his head.
It works.
His head.
Oh, I tell you,
Wow.
a feather lost in that.
Wow.
To have two 80-year-old guys in camp together like grumpy-year old men, take John and finish his grand slam, the last turkey he needed, at 80 years old, that's pretty awesome.
All the way from California to hunt in Osceola. What, he's 79 years old. I'm going to turn him into one of my guys.
Overall, it's been a really neat experience. Even though the company I kept wasn't, you know, red hot, Matt Moret and all.
And he likes when other people clean his turkey. What is that, Everglades sauce? You know, I got to pay back a little bit to my elders. Just the whole turkey camp atmosphere in South Florida with Jim Conley and killing that grand slam with John Higley. I'll remember that one till the day I go. Tyler and I got the Dodge loaded and we're headed up to Alabama. It's either a little bit too early or things are rocking and rolling. And when we get there, things aren't rocking and rolling and it's a little bit tough. I think it cost us about $20 to get John Higley back to the airport. So we get up there, you know, and I had talked to Eddie on the telephone. How about you? You been doing any good?
It's been tough, man. I missed one today on BDS. So, well, I can kill him, I'm gonna miss him, and I missed him. So.
Turkey man's having a rough time. You know the turkeys ain't right. And you know, from my experience in Alabama, honestly, it's hit or miss that early season. Downtown Evergreen, Alabama. Here's its most famous storefront right there, Eddie's Style Shop. Hadn't been to Alabama in 2 years and going to hunt with one of my real good friends and probably one of the best turkey hunters I know, Mr. Rigby McMillan, and it's always a good trip when we get to Alabama. Rigby got a new truck every time I see him.
Y'all exhausted? What time were y'all leaving in the morning down there?
Well, it was Eastern time.
I'd say be over there about 6 o'clock.
At J Villa?
Yeah.
All right, Tyler and I rode into Alabama last night.
I'm going leafy.
Got there pretty late. It's our first morning here in Rigby. He had to go find him a tree pretty quick. Getting old. Sounds like a bear over there, but anyway. These Alabama turkeys probably a little stubborn, but we'll get one cranked up when that sun comes out. Burns them clouds off.
First day we get out there. Man, we're in the money.
That one was close.
Turkey starts gobbling on the limb.
That turkey was close. Sounded more that way.
We get 100 yards away, set up. You know, this is gonna be easy.
When they started heading that way, I just started yelping. Man, your yelping sounds good, buddy. Yeah, when they circle around like that, could try to come in the back door. They'll do that all day long, probably.
And turkey gets about 80 yards away and lays us and goes to the next county.
I can't figure out why they didn't come down that road.
Well, after 2 days of that, nothing's happening. And you've never been here before, it pays to go look at it in case you ever come back here.
There's no way you could call a turkey up right now because they ain't going.
don't know if you ever heard the phrase, turkeys just ain't right yet, but turkeys just ain't right yet. We figured we better load the truck and head up north to another place Rigby has. We're going to pick up Rigby. So we spent 2 days down in southern Alabama and literally got our butts kicked. I mean, hopefully the turkeys are right there. It's amazing sometimes what 20 miles can do, and it's amazing sometimes what 2 days can do. And the next morning, we're hoping it's on. Waiting on Rigby, that's all. Today was the day in weekend 2, 5. This will be the 6th day we've been out. Today was the day that it was hard to get up. Rigby, turkey's got one out here at camp, right? 605.
605?
Mm-hmm. Right here.
Oh, 605.
No, he's not gobbling. I just wanted to get you up. All right, buddy. 6 o'clock on the nose. That's my sleepy-headed buddy, Rigby. Hello.
We're gonna go down here and try to make a turkey gobble. If they don't, we're gonna drive around till we find one that does.
Really pretty. I'd never been there before on that particular farm. It's pretty new to them, and you know, it kind of looked like Missouri. We get out there in a real big pasture field and looking through a bunch of valleys and hills. So we're easing out through that field and stop and listen. And a turkey starts gobbling at the end of the field. And when that turkey gobbled, he was so close that I knew we might be in trouble. We knew we had to make a move. So as we're easing up the ridge, we're walking in leaves, we're watching our step. About that time, we just about get to the top, and that turkey gobbles at our footsteps. I've been knowing this guy for 20 years. Hard to imagine, just about, huh?
Getting old now.
He's one of the best turkey hunters I know.
Okay, whatever.
I promise you.
Man, that was a pretty setup.
You ain't kidding. That's what every turkey hunter in the world
Dreams of.
Let's go check him out. Okay.
Good hunt. Let's go get another one.
Getting these shadows, getting these woods, the sun's coming up. We'd have been 30 minutes later and that sun's up.
It may have been a different story.
When you're moving through the woods, you go easy. You're moving like a cat, and he gobbled at our footsteps, and he was right there.
He was right there.
First turkey of the year, great camo. First turkey with that new Maxus. First turkey with that new Browning ammo. But as you can see, everything did its job, including us.
That's right.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, man.
I enjoyed it too.
The last thing you'll feel is a face full of fives. Longbeards are gonna die. Another longbeard is ready to fry.